Hello, everyone. So I'll be giving a maybe like 5 to 7 minute presentation on how we use Redis in our in-house RTB platform that we have. If you guys had a chance to look into the presentation given by Rocket Fuel, so our platform is almost similar to what they were discussing, but on a smaller scale compared to what they had. So the system we have is DSP, or a demand side platform, which is the buying end of the digital advertising market. So you have like a bunch of exchanges who are the supply side, and they conduct auctions, and DSP connect to those exchanges, bid on the auction, bid on the bid request that they send, trying to win auctions. So what we have is a bidder that connects to all these exchanges and tries to bid on auctions in real time. So we handle somewhere around like 500 to 3,000 requests per second at the moment, and we are planning to scale this. And the stack that we built is based on an open source platform called as RTB Kit. It's developed by a Canadian company called as Datacratic. This gives you a basic architecture of the stack we have. So the main component is the core that connects to different exchanges. It receives the auctions, parses those auctions, and gets the response from different bidding agents that are interested in it and sends them back. And the two other components which play a role in sending bid response or making bidding decisions are the augmenters and bidding agent. I want to concentrate on augmenters because that's where we use Redis a lot. So the augmenter uses Redis as its backend. Even though we have like Redis running on some of, even though the core uses Redis for some of the processes, but I'm going to be talking the use case in the augmenter. So that's the augmenter. So what augmenter does is, once an auction is received, it adds a small amount of extra information to the processed auction, sends it back to the router, which is the core, and then the augmented auctions are sent to the bidding agent, which decides whether they are going to bid on the auction or not. If they're going to bid, what would be the price? So what's the use of Redis? Primarily in augmenters. As he said, the process of augmentation is nothing but adding a small amount of extra information. So the time available for augmentation is 5 milliseconds. So a single augmentation adds one particular type of information. So a particular agent can ask for subscribe to multiple augmentations, and let's say if an agent wants 4 different augmentations, it's like 4 different information added. So all these augmentations have to be completed within 5 milliseconds. So there are instances where an agent can subscribe to more than 5 augmentations. So roughly every single augmentation has to be completed within 1 millisecond. So the entire auction life cycle is somewhere around 100 to 120 milliseconds. So of that time, the augmentation has only like 5 milliseconds available. So we needed a fast lookup mechanism, and that's why we use Redis. So Redis is pretty fast, and for the volume we are handling right now, we are very, very happy with the performance that we are getting. So what does the augmentation loop do? It looks up at Redis, gets relevant information, and adds either a raw value or a tag, and sends it back to the router, and the process goes on. So our lives are made easier by different data structures available in Redis. It's not always convenient to have like raw values. Sometimes it's better off having hashes and sets. In fact, hashes and sets form the major portion of our Redis data store compared to raw values. One interesting example that I would want to share is we have certain capping features. Say, for example, I have a particular bidding agent, and they want to bid not more than n impressions in a day, or they don't want to win not more than n impressions for a particular user. So what happens is every time you win an auction, there's a HTTP call. So there are loops that subscribe to those events, and we keep incrementing the count values. Either, let's say, a particular agent wants to bid, let's say, like 1,000 impressions, not more than 1,000 impressions on every domain. You have like a domain called example.com. So the moment we win on example.com, I need to be incrementing the count value. So you have like inbuilt incremental functions available in Redis, and most of these cap values are daily cap values. So at the end of the day, I want all these keys flushed. So how do we do that? We set up expiration. You have like inbuilt expiration functionalities available. So all these things made our development pretty easier. So So the time available is 5 milliseconds. So time is a major constraint. So Redis is pretty fast. We are happy about the performance that we are getting. So currently we are handling data sizes in tens of millions, and we have like around 8 to 9 different Redis instances or Redis data warehouses running. We haven't experienced any crash until now. And some of the, just to give an example, the kind of data structures, data stores we have, we store different KPI values. We store information based on IP addresses. We store user ID information and different segments and membership for various sites and combinational keys. Thank you.